You may not want to acknowledge it, but if you're a Sigma guy, it's likely that you don't have many true friends. You might start to wonder why this is the case, especially when you realize how smart and capable you are. It's normal to want a buddy who shares your interests, but not everyone views friendship the same way. Some people claim that Sigma males don't have many friends because they don't conform, which may or may not be the case. Other psychological issues also play a role in the few or non-existent friendships among male Sigmas. Now, let's examine 12 of the primary causes. First characteristic, trust concerns. Individuals frequently lie, thus building trust might take some time. According to a University of Massachusetts study, 60% of people who are 18 years of age and older can't go 10 minutes without lying. In addition, 70% of liars admit they would be willing to repeat the ACT. Although lying can be useful in some circumstances, it can be difficult to establish trust. Because they are more truth-aware, Sigma men like to be around trustworthy people. They are reluctant to put their faith in someone until they have shown consistent, dependable behavior. Because of this tendency, it can be difficult for men to develop deep friendships with others. May find it difficult to understand their innate mistrust. Although lying is a common part of everyday communication, Sigma men prioritize authenticity and find it difficult to engage in genuine interactions in most social circles. They also tend to be more upfront and truthful than the average person. Some people may find this off-putting, interpreting it as being too direct or blunt, but Sigma men value efficiency and prefer getting straight to the point rather than engaging in discerning conversations. Countless small talk or roundabout remarks. Sigma men value close relationships above a wide social circle, although some may pursue many friends in order to get acceptance. Finding a small group of people to rely on for constant support is important to Sigma persons. They also find that keeping up too many friendships is draining and that prioritizing quality over number is important, because these connections are rare. Sigma men seek out genuine relationships and friendships rather than pursuing a large network. They seek understanding and similar opinions in their interactions. This selectivity does not imply antisocial tendencies. While this discerning approach may make forging friendships tough, the ones that are made are profoundly valuable. Sigma males are fastidious in choosing people for their inner circle. Once trust is acquired, the link is forged is lifelong and defined by loyalty and honesty. Sigma males seek out pals who are steadfast rather than those who are only around when it's convenient. They cherish long-lasting friendships and contrast themselves with friends who fade away over time. Male Sigmas are highly sensitive to uncomfortable situations, particularly when there is a suggestion of something suspicious. Miss. Is it the uneasy vibe or the obvious attempts of someone to take advantage of them? When faced with manipulation or dishonesty, Sigma individuals quickly distance themselves. Even when the person involved is familiar, their discernment is evident when it comes to protecting dishonesty or shady behavior. This weariness adds to the perception of trust issues, as they prefer to avoid becoming too close to people who appear unreliable or untrustworthy. In these situations, they act on the basis of the better safe than sorry principle. 3 Sigma males prioritize quality over quantity when it comes to friendships, in contrast to those who seek out numerous connections for a sense of acceptance. Ever vigilant for potential threats, Sigma men are quick to put up their guard when anything seems RV. Every word in action is scrutinized once a question situation arises, reinforcing their reputation for being difficult to deceive. While some may view this trait negatively, understanding it from the perspective of the Sigma. Mal reveals a pragmatic approach to self-preservation of mindset. More discriminating than others, Sigma men would rather build a limited, devoted group of pals who will stick by them no matter what, and provide them with quality rather than quantity. They don't want to stretch themselves too thin. Thus, the thought of having too many pals is overwhelming to them. This selectiveness isn't the result of being antisocial. Rather, Sigma men look for deep relationships with people who share their beliefs and fully comprehend them. They value friendships based on mutual respect and understanding, but the rigorous selection process may make it difficult to become friends with a Sigma male. Those who make it through earn a lifelong friend. Once someone has gained the trust of a Sigma male and met their strict requirements, they can expect unwavering loyalty and honesty, but this method may make it more difficult to make friends. The ones that do come to pass are extraordinarily significant. In the complex dance of forming connections, Sigma guys treasure the rarity of these kinds of relationships and value those who stick by you over those who come and go for convenience. This kind of loyalty lasts a lifetime once it is formed. Instead of being swayed by the allure of quick friendships, Sigma are tread with discernment, distinct from the Alpha's pursuit of reputation, status, and friendship. They approach each potential alliance with measured caution, realizing that the company one keeps shapes the very essence of one's being, while others may embrace fast friendships without a second thought. Ever contemplative and methodical, Sigma men raise an eyebrow at the sudden intimacy between strangers. This is not a rejection of new relationships, but rather a dedication to authenticity. The Sigma men pause and watch the overnight bonding as distrust rises from the unexpected intimacy with a previously unknown person. This is not because they are disdainful of new relationships, but rather because they want to have true, lasting friendships. Sigma men recognize the importance of taking the time to get to know someone's character before considering them a friend. They have no need for shallow relationships. Instead, they look for genuine connections where respect and common interests develop, and the proverb, "You're the average of the 5 people," holds true. The people you spend the most time with have a deep resonance with Sigma men. They approach friendship with a sincere commitment to their own growth and well-being. Instead of surrounding themselves with people who are just there to make things easier, or who are just yes-men, Sigma men look for people who genuinely care, making sure that the bonds they form are partnerships that stand the test of authenticity and time. Lastly, in a world where many people strive for attention, the Sigma man stands apart by embracing the quiet strength of authenticity. You won't find him staging a lavish show to gain favor or trying to dazzle with accomplishments. The Sigma man doesn't think he needs to impress because his true relationships are what matter, not big, showy shows. Rather than approaching the goal of acquiring new friends with enthusiasm, he navigates the social field with the calm assurance. The Sigma man invests his time and energy in relationships that are based on trust and honesty, because he prefers substance to superficiality, not out of apathy but rather out of a desire for deeper connections. There is little effort made to get near. The Sigma is an introverted person by nature, who seeks comfort in his own company or in the company of people who have gained his trust. He is not a talker and will not strike up a discussion with a stranger. This is not a sign that he is reluctant to interact with people, but rather a deliberate decision to refrain from interacting with people just to seem sociable. Consider the last time you really enjoyed a conversation. Chances are it was with someone who didn't try too hard to impress, someone whose authenticity showed through effortlessly in the quiet strength of the Sigma. Some may view this reserved approach as a negative trait, but others appreciate the authenticity it brings. Man Lies has a distinct appeal that communicates a lot without requiring big movements or ostentatious displays. When it comes to trust and loyalty, Sigma men have very high standards. They want complete dedication and support from their partners, preferring those who are there exclusively when it's convenient. Sigma men are outstanding friends, companions, and confidants because they have an innate sense of loyalty that allows them to recognize when someone isn't truly committed. They emphasize that loyalty is paramount to them, above and beyond simple expectations. Whether in friendships or romantic relationships, Sigma men actively work to be loyal to those they care about. They dedicate themselves to giving their loved ones a sense of safety and security, and don't easily forget betrayals of trust and loyalty, even though forgiveness may be possible. Rebuilding trust is an amazing endeavor, and most Sigma men are hesitant to provide second chances because they need to be very convinced that their actions are sincere and that they will continue to uphold trust. For Sigma men, loyalty is extremely valuable and is frequently regarded as a precious commodity. This is demonstrated by their unshakable commitment to those who recognize and cherish this uncommon attribute. The mysterious aura and restrained manner of Sigma males can intimidate others. They prefer to maintain a low profile rather than enjoy attention, and as a result, they are frequently underestimated by others who are unfamiliar with them. While their reserved demeanor may give the impression that they lack confidence, those who spend enough time with Sigma men know that there's more to them than meets the eye. They are passionate about their interests and hobbies, and when they engage in discussions about them, they can be quite vocal, even though they may not always say it out loud. Express their emotions. They cherish interpersonal relationships. Once they let their guard down, they can grow gregarious and outgoing. Aversion to conflict. Antagonism towards conflict and drama. As peace-loving people, Sigma men greatly detest becoming involved in disputes or contentious debates. Instead, they would much rather find peaceful solutions to issues. This avoidance of conflict, which is sometimes misinterpreted as weakness, is actually a sign of maturity and power. Even though they may come across as quiet and unassuming, Sigma men are capable of getting the job done when needed, while still prioritizing peaceful solutions. As such, despite their peaceful demeanor, one should exercise caution not to provoke a Sigma man with the vend. Sigma men also understand that constructive communication is more valuable than destructive confrontations. While Sigma males appear calm and collected, they are uncomfortable in large crowds. Although they are charismatic when they open up, navigating large groups is not their strong suit. They prefer one-on-one conversations because they find them more conducive to forming meaningful connections, even though they are socially skilled. Sigma men like to live covertly in social and professional environments. They are not drawn to circumstances where they must entertain or take center stage. This is not because they are socially inept. Sigma males gravitate toward private environments. A preference for living in silence, spending time with close friends and family, and avoiding the limelight are some of the ways that these people choose to make an impact. Sigma men are capable of handling situations involving a lot of public speaking or constant attention, but they prefer to quietly make a difference in the background without the need for fanfare or excessive attention. Sigma males exhibit a high degree of selectiveness in the people they let into their lives, even in the face of the societal norm that dictates having a wide social network of friends and acquaintances. Even if someone is nice and friendly, Sigma men seem to have an internal filter that helps them decide who is worthy of their time and attention. They are very selective about who they associate with. If Sigma males don't feel a true connection, they may keep their distance. This discerning approach is not based on snobbery or exclusivity. Rather, it is a pragmatic worldview in which we devote time in relationships, devoid of true chemistry, even though its selectiveness may provide difficulties for others attempting to connect with Sigma men. It does not imply that they are asocial. This misconception frequently originates from people who don't really know them. According to people who are a part of a Sigma man's inner circle, these people are not only incredibly loyal, but also generous. Sigma men have a unique personality type that can seem strange and unusual to people who aren't used to such uniqueness. Their atypical qualities make it difficult for them to fit in with society, but their quiet and introversion shouldn't be taken as a sign of pessimism beneath the surface. Despite the difficulty others may have understanding their unique way of thinking and acting, Sigma men have a deep appreciation for life and a strong sense of optimism. It is precisely these characteristics that make Sigma men unique. Many are drawn to their depth of character and admire their strong sense of self. Number 12. Independence from external validation. Seeking validation or attention from others is the last thing that one would notice in a Sigma man. Instead, they are unaffected by making an impression on others or putting on a show, preferring to live by their own rules. Although this independence may be mistaken for arrogance, Sigma men actually just don't care what other people think. Although they value compliments and acclaim, they won't go out of their way to receive them. The emphasis is on living life in accordance with one's own standards and ideals, as this leads to genuine contentment and mental tranquility. This kind of self-assurance is uncommon and inspires respect and admiration in all who come into contact with it.